Thank you and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Dinesh Kumar Pal, acting Sergeant at Arms. I will be the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting and I welcome you all to the 73rd meeting of the ASSP Kuwait Toastmasters Club. Before we start the meeting, I would like to mention few ground rules which we follow in our Toastmasters meeting. Please keep all your cell phone and other electronic device in silent mode and put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Please turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting or not sitting in the correct posture. Follow safe exit route at your present location. I believe you will be joining the meeting since it is virtual meeting. You will be at home or you will be in office, so you will know the emergency exit and the restroom where you last time used. Before start the other meeting, I will read out the club mission and I request you to repeat with me without unmuting yourself. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals. Likewise, our Toastmasters too has a mission, and that is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to hand over stage to the presiding officer, that is none of the other, myself only, Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal. So I will take over from here as a president. Thank you, Mr. Acting Sergeant at Arms Dinesh Kumar Pal, in ever charming Toastmasters and ready to jump and take up any role. Convert tough situation in smooth and operation of the meeting at any level, club, area or division. Fellow Toastmasters and under guests, good evening. I would like to call this meeting to order, and it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you at ASSP Toastmasters Club. For over almost 3.5 years, ASSP Kuwait Toastmasters Club has created a warm, friendly and supportive environment as we gather each first and third Saturday of the month to fulfill our mission. But this meeting happening on fourth Saturday, at third Saturday there was a big event of the educational and career advancement workshop organized by the District 20. So everyone has a mission, as I told you before, and vision also. Our mission drives from our club's vision, and that is to be a place of deep community where aspiring speakers and leaders come to learn, and proven orators and interpret pioneers continue to grow and share their wisdom. Before we start the next session of this meeting, I would like to acknowledge the guests who are presented here. Guest Mayola D'Souza. I appreciate if you possible and it is allow your circumstances to switch on your video so we will know who is this guest. Guest Nitin Nikas and guest Peter Mendonça. Peter Mendonça already I introduced. He is the member of the ASSP Kuwait chapter. I may request to Nitin Nikas, would you please introduce yourself in a 1 or 2 line, your name and your organization, how came to know this meeting, please?
Hello, Mr. Dinesh. Myself, Nitin Kumar Nikas. I'm working with HISCO from 3 years. I came to know about this. Actually, I'm a member of a PSM group. I come to know about this PSM group through my friend who is working in KNPC. And I'm very happy and being privileged to join this group. And today, it's the first time I'm joining Toastmasters. Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Heartily welcome to our chapter meeting. Thank you very much. Next, I can see that guest Mayola D'Souza. I would appreciate if you can unmute and just introduce yourself in 1 or 2 lines.
Good evening. I am Mayola D'Souza. I have just finished my 12th grade and I came to know about Toastmasters through Prescilla.
Wow.
So thank you. I'm honored to be here.
A warm welcome, guest Mayola. I think Dr. Praveen is still getting connected. I will acknowledge to later. And also I will guest Peter Mendoza. You can also introduce yourself by switching on your camera if it is possible. Guest Peter Mendoza.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Peter Mendonça. I'm working for a company called Induction Center. Like it's a HSC training and consultancy services. And I just joined this group because I just got a message in the ASSP chat group, so I joined. I found very interestingly to meet
Thank
all
you.
the Toastmasters. Yeah.
Thank you very much. A warm welcome, guest Peter, and I hope you will join the Toastmasters Club also, as you are a member of the SSP chapter. Next, our guest,
Sure, thank you.
Nameti Akpan, all the way from the Nigeria in South Africa. And he just joined. He is struggling with his camera setting. He is the guest and our regular guest. Also, he is the role player of the meeting. So I will introduce him later. Let me move forward. I think some guests are getting connecting and disconnecting. I can see Dr. Praveen. If anyone join later, our Toastmasters of the day will acknowledge. So before we start the next session of this meeting, I would like to ask, since the BP education is not here, so impromptu role I am asking to Toastmasters of the day, Toastmaster Sunil. As we publish the agenda in the group, I feel it is incomplete. So what you would say about the role players? What are the missing?
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal. What I observe is we don't have a timer. If anybody the floor can volunteer as a timer. And also we are missing our counter and grammarian for this meeting. And also we don't have a word of the day. Anybody from the floor is ready to volunteer for these roles?
Toastmaster of the day, since I can see the very few attendance of the guest Toastmasters, they are all the non-Toastmasters. So only I approach you if anyone can take the role of the timer, and two role you can skip today as accounter and grammarian.
Okay, today with lack of people to take up the roles, we can, is that anybody can volunteer for timer? Is there anybody ready?
I will take up the timer role.
All right.
Thank you very much, DTM Kajetan. So I would like to raise the motion to adopt the agenda with propose the changes as the timer role will taken by the DTM Kajetan Barreto, and the two roles, accounter and grammarian, will be escaped today. I may request any member of the club, please raise the motion to adopt the agenda with these changes.
I, Toastmaster Sunil, would like to request for adopting this agenda.
May I request the DTM Kajetan or anyone to second the motion?
I, Toastmaster DTM Kajetan Barreto, member of ASSP Toastmasters Club, second the motion raised by Toastmaster Sunil to adopt the agenda with the changes proposed by Toastmaster Sunil, which is to have the timer role taken up by me, and we will not be having the role for grammarian and accountant.
Thank you very much, DTM Kajetan, for seconding the motion to adopt the agenda. So by here, I am adopting the agenda has been considered as adopted with the proposed the changes. Is there any objection from floor? I will count 1, 2, 3. Hearing none, now I declare that agenda has been adopted as proposed changes. Now time came that I have to leave the virtual podium to someone who is going to entertain us for 1.5 hours. Let's start this meeting by inviting our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, enthusiastic and a passionate Toastmaster, member of the ASSP Kuwait and Bhavan Kuwait Malayalam Toastmasters Club. Working as a health safety and environment professional in Kuwait Aviation Fueling Company and served as president of SSP, American Society of Safety Professional Kuwait chapter, followed by other EXCOM roles in chapter as well as in Toastmasters Club too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Toastmaster Sunil Sadanand with a big round of applause. Toastmaster Sunil, all yours.
Thank you, Club President Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar Pal, for that wonderful introduction of myself for this meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, a warm good evening to all of you. I hope all of you are with full energy and enthusiasm to attend this meeting. Just for the guests, let me brief what is Toastmasters. Because I could see some guests who have just joined today to understand our Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization in the US. It has got a lot of clubs in almost across the world in all regions. And in Kuwait, we have enough number of clubs. These clubs regularly meet at least twice a month, and they have a fixed agenda which we are seeing and which we are following as well. Through this agenda and through this meeting, the club members will be involving in various roles like timer, general evaluator, speaker, table topic master. All of that you will be watching it today. What are those roles? How that roles are getting involved by the members. Through this process of Toastmaster Club meeting and presentation of the projects, you are undergoing a big change in your life. And that change will remarkably take you to a ultimate level of distinguished Toastmasters, which has got a lengthy process, and you will come to know on that. So every Toastmaster Club meeting has got its own way of doing it. That is the agenda, moving with the theme, prepared projects, table topics, interesting, very interesting, which everyone can participate. And also we have an evaluation and feedback session at the end. And we will recognize the best speakers who have done very well today with a token of appreciation of certificate. So today's meeting had got a theme, safety at home. Though we are ASSP, American Society of Safety Professionals, which always have it involved with safety, because our members are safety professionals working in various organizations, and they involved in their work with day-to-day safety. What about safety at home? Are we really thinking about that? Just, I would like to say about one recent incident which happened among our Toastmaster fraternity. I'm very sorry, when I read that mistake, I felt that we need to focus more on home safety. Our DTM, Arich, she has put a message that one day her house or her apartment got burned, and almost all the properties and all the valuable things have been gone with charred into ashes. Fortunately, they didn't sustain any injuries. That's the great thing of that. But though the valuables and other essentials inside the apartment has been. When she wrote that message, I was thinking, what could be the reason it happened? And I was just put a query among the Toastmaster fraternity, though she couldn't reply it. Our GTM Ramkumar replied that it was a issue with the electrical devices. Okay, we'll come to that electrical devices, how it can be protected and what we should focus on that. But today, I'll just like to remind about one thing, that's about policies. So by telling policies, what is policy? How many of you know that policy? With a small story which just happened in my family, I will just say what is a policy. Very interesting. Policy is something which is set by an individual or a group of people or a company organization, which they should move forward. And the very good example I can give you, my wife. she has enough number of dresses. And one day I was asking why you are not wearing that particular dress for this occasion as well. It suits well. So the reply was there. This I have already worn in another occasion earlier. And the guests who have come over there have seen this dress. So I cannot wear this in this occasion because the guests are same and they have seen it. So definitely I should wear another one. We went out and brought another one. So I was just wondering, this is called policy. The policy set by her towards the dress. Interesting? Yes. So all companies have set policies. And today we have to set a policy. That's one of the things that I'm going to stress upon now in this meeting. In the first part, we have to set policy of safety at our home. With policies, that things move forward. What should be our policy at home? Our policy should be that we will be focusing more on safety. We'll be looking into each and every aspect which can cause threat to ourselves in our home and what we need to do, what corrective action we need to do. We are not going to relax on safety things. We are going to buy quality products. We are going to observe if anything is wrong, it will be corrected. All those things we need to set as a policy within home itself. And with that message, I'm going to kickstart this meeting of the theme safety at home. We all should have a policy at home that we will be giving priority to safety aspects at home. With that in mind, let us introduce our role players for today's meeting. And today, the first role player going to be introduced is none other than timer. You know, time has got a valuable part in each and every part of our life. Even in home safety, it has got a major role. If you don't do at the right moment, at the right time, you will be getting affected. That's what has happened to DTM RH. She escaped from that apartment immediately, and after that, she heard a small explosion inside the house. So that's what time has a role. It has got a major influential role in each and everything. And that too, Toastmasters Club meetings do have. They have a very clear timeline guidelines for each and every activity. And today that timeline activity will be monitored by a wonderful personality among Toastmasters. It's none other than DTM Kajetan. DTM Kajetan is a famous personality among Toastmasters fraternity, even in Kuwait, not only in District 20, worldwide. Today, if you go to our YouTube channel of District 20, you can find many essential tips on Toastmasters activities, which has been recognized by many of the Toastmasters. Even today, if you need any doubt, the first person to ask is Toastmaster DTM Kajetan. With that in mind, and with that welcome point in note, I would like to invite DTM Kajetan to just explain the timer roles for today's meeting. Over to you, DTM Kajetan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil, and for that extensive introduction. My role as a timer today is very simple. I will use a color screen on my screen to tell you all whether you all are speaking within time or you all are going beyond time. And what do we mean by that? A Toastmaster meeting has different segments. We have people who have come prepared with their speeches. And today we have two speakers, and both of them will be speaking between 5 to 7 minutes. So when they reach the 5-minute mark, my screen will turn green like this. That means they have reached the minimum qualification time for their speech. They have prepared well. When it reaches 6 minutes, I will show my screen as yellow. This is an indicator for the speakers to start wrapping up because they are reaching their ideal time, which is 6 minutes. When it reaches 7 minutes, it means they have reached the maximum time and it is time for them to stop as soon as possible. How soon? We give them 30 seconds grace period, which means within 7 minutes, 30 seconds maximum, they should finish their speech. Of course, if you go beyond that, there is no harm, but you will not be able to participate in a very wonderful poll for the best speaker because we should speak within the time. Then we have a wonderful session where all the guests, please, I would like you all, invite you all to take part if possible, which we call impromptu speaking, where you will be given an interesting topic by our what we call table topic master, and he will ask you to speak between 1 to 2 minutes, not long, just 1 minute to 2 minutes. So to tell you that you have reached your minimum time of 1 minute, I will turn at green at 1.5 minutes, my screen will turn yellow, and at 2 minutes, that's your maximum time, it will turn to red to tell you, okay, that's it, you have done a great job, time to stop. You have 30 seconds grace period here also. And then we have an evaluation segment where again we are asking to give feedback from our evaluators, and there the timing is 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes green, 2.5 minute yellow, 3 minutes red, 30 seconds grace period as usual. And there you have it, our timing segments today. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sunil.
Thank you, DTM Kajetan, for wonderfully explaining the timing programs of timelines of today's meeting, as well as the points to be noted by the various speakers while during their projects and all. Thank you very much. Now let's move to the next role player of today's meeting. It's none other than General Evaluator, who will be conducting the full evaluation of our meeting today and coming up with later a wonderful report. And today, for doing a general evaluation, we have a wonderful personality who has just famous in all Toastmasters Club in Kuwait, who has been attending this from Africa. I guess it is none other than Toastmaster Namiti Afkan, who is a lifelong learner, a human resource manager by profession and a teacher by vocation. He's an alumnus of Ubuntu Leaders Academy and having garnered years of experience tutoring children. And he believes in infiniteness of human potential, the founder of Inner Child Initiative, which has been followed there. A nonprofit committed to helping people live their inner child dreams. He plays snooker and loves classical music. He believes in Ubuntu philosophy of leadership, which says, "Am because you are." That's wonderful to hear you about Toastmaster Namiti. Welcome you to today's meeting, and I'd like to request you to explain the roles of a general evaluator for today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Namiti.
Thank you very kindly for that very warm and heartfelt introduction, Toastmaster Sunil, and good evening to everyone in the house. It's been a while. I came to Kuwait virtually, so I'd like to thank Dinesh for reaching out, and I'm excited to be here, and it's always a great time. I know we're going to have a good meeting. So I would be honored to be the general evaluator for today's meeting, and I dare say my work had already started. So I will be looking out for how well we fare with the meeting, and then looking out for areas where we can improve in subsequent meetings. Very simple. And at the end of the meeting, I will be honored to come back and give my own personal experience as far as this meeting was concerned. In Toastmasters, we know that everyone can always get better with feedback. So that's why I'm here. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sunil, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Namiti, for wonderfully explaining the general evaluation roles for you today for this meeting. Yes, I do agree with that. And all of us, after this meeting, will have that feedback session, taking back home for improving this themselves in their next meeting or in their day-to-day life. Thank you very much once again. So again, coming back to our theme, safety at home, I hope all of you have taken up my message of having policies towards safety at home. And with that again in mind, please set a policy from today. After this end of this meeting, I'm sure that many of us will go back to home and will set a policy for home with respect to safety and what we should focus and what will be our way forward towards safety at home. With that, we'll go to the first session of a Toastmaster Club meeting, which is prepared speech session. Prepared speech sessions are for guests who have come joined our meeting today. I would like to tell that prepared speeches are the speeches prepared by every individual, all the members of the club or from other clubs, and they will be doing these speeches as a part of their project completion. Like there is various levels of project: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and it will be based on the path which has been chosen. And each level they have to do many projects. So they will do each and every project in every meeting, and with that they move forward from level 1 to level 2, level 3, like that. And once you have a complete of your path, then there is some more requirements for you to become a DTM. So today we have a wonderful speaker for today coming up with a presentation, and it is none other than Sreenivasulu G. I hope it's correct. Sorry if I have mispronounced. I'm sorry, because I'm not so familiar with this guy. And he is a QHSC officer.
Sunilji, sorry for interrupting you. I request you, just before you start the prepared speech session, let acknowledge the two guests. Might be they will not stay long till our meeting finish. One is the District 20 Logistic Manager, Yasser Al-Kasar, and second is our founder member of the SSP chapter, Ashok Garlapati ji. Please, you can acknowledge yourself.
Yes, thank you, Club President Toastmaster Dinesh. I would like to acknowledge the presence of DLM Yasser, Logistics Manager District of Yasser Al-Kasar. Thank you very much for being with us today and coming for our meeting for today. If you have any few words to us, please.
Thank you for inviting me for this meeting. I received a request from my friend Dinesh, so I said I should attend. I apologize, I cannot switch my camera because I am driving. I just came from hospital, but I couldn't refuse from Dinesh. He's our friend, so it is my pleasure to be with you. I will stay as I can. It is nice to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Toastmaster.
you very much, District Logistic Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yasser. That was very so kind of you for being with us today in this meeting, and we acknowledge the presence of you. Next, we have a wonderful personality of ASSP, not in locally but globally. It's none other than Mr. Toastmaster Ashok Garlapati, who is a Toastmaster earlier. Now I'm sure he's going to come back with that. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Ashok Garlapati here, and I kindly request to have a few words on Toastmasters and ASSP too.
Thank you, Mr. Sunesh, and Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Dinesh, President of the Toastmaster Club, South Kuwait Toastmaster Club. It's when I got invitation, I have seen the theme. I like the theme, so I'm here today. So I truly enjoy the Toastmasters meeting. And of course, ASSP and Toastmasters got a lot of collaboration, a lot of synergy growing together, and our profession requires communications. Toastmasters make a lot of contribution in that aspect. I'm looking forward for the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok ji, for that wonderful words. Always, you are a true inspiration to Toastmasters as well as ASSPNs too. Thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you.
With that, let's move further and let's introduce our speaker for today. It's none other than Sreenivasulu, who is a QHSC officer working in Kuwait for the last 14 years in Kuwait. He just joined Toastmasters in February 2022, and he's come up with this speech, level 1, project number 2, in the path of dynamic leadership, writing a speech with a purpose title is A4 paper. So today's speech of Sreenivasulu will be evaluated by our own PPPR and the non-Toastmaster DTM Kajitan. I kindly request DTM Kajitan to explain the purpose statement of the project of Toastmaster Sreenivasulu. Over to you, DTM Kajitan.
Certainly. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sunil, and my speaker today, Toastmaster Srinu. I will be doing double duty for you today. I will be both your timer, so keep an eye on my screen for 5 to 7 minutes, and I will be evaluating your speech. You have a very simple project today from the Pathways Level 1 project, and I can see that you are embarking on the new Pathways journey, the new path that has a different kind of projects. In fact, that threw me off when you sent me the evaluation, and I had to quickly go to my Pathways to find out, oh, this is the new Pathways. And here you are doing a second speech. You have just finished your icebreaker, and your second speech is to write a speech with purpose. And that's it. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So all I will be looking for as an evaluator is what's your speech, what's your purpose, and have you met that purpose? I wish you all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, GTM Kajitin, for explaining the purpose statement of the project of Toastmaster Sreenivasulu. I would like to welcome Sreenivasulu. The title is A4 Paper, Sreenivasulu, A4 Paper. Over to you, Toastmaster Sreenivasulu. All the best.
You can have data without information, but you cannot have the information without data. Told by Daniel Keys Moran. Paper is a material made in thin sheet from wooden pulp or fibrous substances. A4 is the universal letterhead size with dimensions 297 millimeter height and 210 millimeter width. How many of you uses A4 paper in daily basis? Okay, great. Our organization has been established quality control department in June 2018. We use papers, A4 papers for preparing and printing inspection reports. For each product, we use bunch of papers. Sometimes we waste A4 papers due to made by mistakes, the quality of paper, pen, and wrong printing. So there is advantages of paper by using paper. Paper can build business brand and establish your expertise, build mailing lists, generate sales leads, and increase engagement. As well as there is disadvantages by using paper. This is risky to keeping in paper file. They can burn, color may fade. It is difficult to storage, destroyed by water, and work will be slow and time will be more, consumption more. What is digitalization? Digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change business model and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. So our company has been implemented digital platform, ERP, enterprise resource planning in the last year, 2021. Due to digitalization, we minimized paper consumption and communication will be more faster than before. So due to according to our waste management reports, we have minimized approximately 70% of papers. This can be contributes saving trees and environment. Please minimize paper usage, reuse, and recycle it. We save trees better for the future. How many of knows each tree? How many produce A4 papers? One tree produces 3,000 A4 sheets. It could be for the companies all over the world to reconsider the way how to business documents can be stored and archived. This digitalization currently raised by 100% every 2 years. Does it double be a wise idea, not be let your company be behind in your paper trail? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sreenivasulu, for wonderfully explaining the importance of digitalization. And all of us are keep in mind, and always we used to use a lot of A4 papers just for trial printing and later on. And with that digitalization, we can reduce the amount of paper which we have wonderfully explained. Thank you very much. Let's give a feedback for Toastmaster Sreenivasulu's speech for today with tips, what he has shown explicitly well and what he need to improve next time for his speech. That will be a great feedback. Let's all give a good feedback with these 2 points, with good ones and the points which we have to improve also. I request everyone to send message personally to Toastmaster Sreenivasulu so that he can make a note of that. And I would like to request a timer to mark 1 minute for time so that it can be alerted as well. Thank you. Thank you. I hope all of you have given the feedback to Toastmaster Srinivas. We'll hear your detailed evaluation later on during the evaluation session. With that, let's move to the next speaker for today's prepared session. And I'm very honored to introduce her today. It is none other than DTM Prescilla Dias. DTM Prescilla Dias is also a famous personality among Toastmasters in Kuwait. She is a postgraduate in commerce who left behind that 20-year-long career with administration field to follow her passion for baking and cake decorating. She's the owner of Cake Obsessed, a home-based venture serving custom-designed cakes and cupcakes. Toastmaster since 2017. VP Public Relations of Kuwait Challengers Club. Before I call DTM Prescilla to deliver her speech, I request all of you to give a big round of applause and congratulations to her, as she is the winner of Division F and will contest in District Toastmasters contest in May 2022. With that, I would like to invite DTM Prescilla here. There is no evaluation. There will be a 360-degree evaluation by all of us. We will give that feedback back to Prescilla after completion of her project. The title for the speech is The Other Woman. Prescilla Dias, The Other Woman. The Other Woman, DTM Prescilla Dias. Over to you, DTM Prescilla.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Where do I begin? There was a time when my husband would wake me up with a kiss and a whisper in my ear. Good morning, honey. And then one fine day, he brings this other woman to live with us. And not just any woman, a famous celebrity. Most of you would know her. And by her reputation, she must be even living with you all. Yes, that is her reputation. Enticing men. And once they get used to her, they want more and more and more of her. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest. Here, let me introduce you to the other woman, Alexa. Alexa has created havoc in my life. You see, look at her. Give a nice look at her. Now turn your eyes towards me. Look at me. Close look at me. I don't understand. How is it that men fall for this round, square, cylindrical thingy? No hourglass figure, no beautiful face, no love oozing out, except for that seductive voice. She's just a box. A virtual assistant developed by Amazon. Why don't you get it? Men, why don't you get it? And yet, she is creating havoc in my life. You will see. Imagine my plight when hubby asks Alexa, turn on the lights, draw the curtains. Come on, I can do this. Why do you need Alexa for everything? To this, hubby snaps at me and says, can you play music like Alexa? Can you tell me what's happening in the world like Alexa? Are you smart like Alexa? Alexa, Alexa, Alexa. What about me, Prescilla, the love of your life, or not? I could see Alexa taking my place. And I was not going to let that happen. No way. So when hubby was not at home, no, not what you're thinking. I cannot throw her out. She is that expensive branded stuff where we paid a lot of money for her. On second thoughts, I would have loved to throw her out of my 8th floor window. But then I thought, and I just started talking to her. I wanted to know how smart she was. So I asked Alexa, Alexa, tell me 3 things about my husband that I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Aha! You heard that? She said she doesn't know anything about my husband. Yeah. When hubby returned home, I told him that his smart little Alexa doesn't know anything about him. With a smirky smile, he said, Alexa, play my favorite music. And she did. He said, Alexa, read out my shopping list. Samsung mobile, camera, tripods. And she did. He said, Alexa, with whom am I having lunch tomorrow? And she said, you're having lunch with Siri. Siri? Who is the Siri? Alexa! Alexa! Who is Siri?
Siri is known for being Apple's voice assistant.
Oops. I'm not supposed to scream at Alexa. I was trained by hubby to talk to her politely, to first take her name and then request her. Like saying, Alexa, brew me some coffee. I'm jealous of Alexa. I cannot take this anymore. I have decided I have got to do something about it. So note to myself and to you, ladies and gentlemen, Alexa is just a box programmed to take care of our tribal needs. She may brew coffee for us, but she cannot sip coffee. She may play music, but she cannot dance. She may definitely tell you what's happening in the world, but she is not your world. So let Alexa be what she is, a virtual assistant. We are far more intellectual. Let's make use of her and not be slaves to technology. Did I tell you she can time your speeches? Let's see how. Alexa, set timer for 7 minutes, 30 seconds.
7 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
There you go.
Would you like to begin
Practice
your
your
day with a positive
speeches.
affirmation from the My Daily Mindset
Alexa,
Scale?
stop! Sometimes you need to do that. Contest master? Oh,
Thank you, DTM.
Toastmaster of the day. Sorry, Toastmaster of the day.
With a lot of contests happening nowadays, yeah. But that was a great speech. Just using Alexa for the lighter moments which happens and which comes into our minds and thoughts. That was wonderfully presented, DTM, Prescilla. Hats off to you. Thank you very much. Now it's time to give a feedback to DTM Prescilla's speech about Alexa today here. I'm sure that all of you have enjoyed and you didn't move your mind from that particular speech, which was so much connecting to us through Alexa. I request each one of you to give a feedback where Prescilla can improve more in her speech, where we need to focus, what she can do a little bit. Yes, DTM, Club President Toastmaster Dinesh, please.
Yeah, I would like to take the first opportunity to give the 360 evaluation to Speaker Prescilla Dias. Audience, please give a big round of applause first of her. She delivered the so wonderful speech and bring it very twist story. Everybody was shocked. Who is this? That second, another woman in the life of the Speaker Prescilla Dias. You deliver very wonderful speech, no doubt, with a full of your passion and enthusiasm. And the liveliness of your speech we can see. To take a very short evaluation, which I can recommend you, when you use the word, let me introduce another woman. I personally feel that you not giving enough time to think to the audience, and so let them be suspicious who is this another woman. Second thing I want to recommend, if there your space is allowed, keep the Alexa between your device and you, because you are frequently moving the backward to address the related to issue with the Alexa. So if not allow between you and the device, then you may keep on the side table, because the totally you were going the behind. It is my opinion. And overall, these are the points from my point of the view. Let offer to other audience too, and give the 360 evaluation. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day. Thank you.
President Toastmaster Dinesh, are we going to do the evaluation with everyone or just sending the
Yeah,
feedback?
anyone can give the 360
Anyone who
evaluation.
else is here to give a feedback on DGM Prescilla's speech for today? Toastmaster Fakhruddin.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the day. It was a mind-blowing speech. It was a mind-blowing speech. The way the madam has delivered, I could not figure out anything where she was lacking. She was full of confidence. The way she started, the humor was there from the beginning till end. The last moment, that yes, sometimes you have to stop her. Till that moment, it was completely mind-blowing. Yes, and I think it was holding us till end, and we were all laughing and we were all connected to the story of DTM Prescilla. I was always just looking at her and looking at DTM Kajitan face, and I was saying like, really, what is all going on about? It was really humorous, very well delivered. The voice modulation was fantastic. The break was given precisely where it was required. What I feel that it was the time limit was only concerned from my side, because I see that the red signal has already appeared and it was too much time constraint was very important here. I think during the contest, if it goes for the contest, it should not overreach the time. So maybe Madam Prescilla can make it little quicker and give initial timing for the audience to think. And yes, the suggestion from Toastmaster Dinesh, I agree with that. The Alexa, which is actually the subject or the heroine of whole speech, should be somewhere visible. Sometimes she is not visible. Maybe she can be in front of the camera, because she is not covering DTM Prescilla. She doesn't cover up DTM Prescilla's expressions or the way she is expressing herself. She can be in between the camera and DTM Prescilla, or she can be aside. So that a suggestion from my side. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. Thank you very much for that feedback. Anybody else would like to volunteer for feedback of today's speech of DTM Prescilla Dias? Yeah. Our district logistic manager, Yasser, is ready. Please.
Thank you for, to be honest, Wallah, the speech was great. From the beginning, she grabbed us from the beginning. Usually we hear a speech that man complain against a woman, but now the opposite. How, you know, we feel there is something jealous or something from the beginning. So she grabbed our attention from the beginning. We know Toastmaster Prescilla, she is one of the international speaker, and she did a great job. Her movement through the stage was great. We were waiting to see some drama, some action from it, but overall it is great. It has grabbed our attention from the beginning, even utilizing the time up to the end, because see, for seven, we don't feel that the time is going fast because she was really contact with us. So it is a great job and well done. And for recommendation, maybe as Dinesh said, if she keep the device at a side little bit, because we will feel that there is something in between. Why this instrument there? So if she put it in front, it will be better. And back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yasser, for giving that feedback of Toastmaster Presilla's speech for today. Anybody else would like to volunteer? Ashok sir, do you have any feedback from your own outside Toastmasters perspective?
No, it's a perfect speech. I was so immersed in her speech. I also use Alexa every day, but I never thought in that direction. Absolutely, she was so much immersed in the speech, and probably she could have asked some more questions. Alexa, what Toastmaster does, something like that, to engage, you know, what Alexa can do the things. That's very nice. Nice of you, madam. You truly engaged us. Engagement is so important. You did that job perfectly. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody else to volunteer? All right. So with that, we conclude the 360 evaluation of Toastmaster Prescilla Dias.
Can I take a minute?
Yes, please.
Yeah. I would like to thank everyone for the wonderful feedback, and it is very important for me because every feedback that is given, I try to implement it. I did do Toastmaster Dinesh had asked me to build up the suspense as to who is Alexa. I did try to do that, but I think it's still not sufficient. He wants me to build the suspense even more. I will work on that, and definitely I will keep Alexa in the screens so that she is properly visible. And really, thank you very much for all the recommendations. I will apply to my speeches. This has been my experience with all my speeches. Whatever I've been asked for, I have made the changes, and I've seen my speeches get better and better. So if my speeches are good and of contest material, then it is because of you all who give me the feedback as to how I should redraft or add the juices into my speeches. So thank you so much for that. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, DGM Prescilla Dias. Yes, Club President Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. You have anything?
Since the DGM Prescilla already given some feedback, so out of that feedback, again I came some one point feedback from me. Don't use the word, let me introduce who is the Alexa. Say, how many of you eager to know who is this Alexa? Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters of the Day. Please go ahead.
Toastmaster Dinesh, do we have a voting for this, or are we moving ahead to the next session?
No voting for this. And Toastmaster Sunil, I will be the timer during the table topic, because since our DTM Kajetan had to prepare the evaluation. So this is just little small changes. Thank you.
Right. Noted. So thank you. Prepared speeches of we were today. The session was really exciting with two wonderful speeches. One from Toastmaster Sreenivasulu about using the digitalization, and the second one from DTM Prescilla Dias on Alexa, what troubles it can happen at lighter moments at home. Wonderfully, and we all enjoyed that. I'm sure that all of you have given the feedback to improve the speeches. With that, we are moving to the next session of our Toastmaster Club meeting, which is the table topics session. At this moment, if ready, we can have a photo session. We have many guests. All of us, you can open for a open your cameras. We can have a nice photos with all the district leader is also here. When personality from ASSP is here, we all will have a photo session right now. I request each one of you who is possible to open the camera so that we have a quick at of all of us. I request our president or team consultant to click a shot. Over. Done. Thank you so much. With that, let's move to the next session of this table topic session. Before that, let me say something about our theme for today, which is home safety. One of the major challenges which we come across at home, especially in the case of GTM reach, is the electrical device failure, which trigger into a ignition source. So what are those ignition sources available at our home? I request members to open their mic and say the few which has been noticed. I would like to give people who are not with ASSP to give answers so that it will be truly homely. Ignition sources are those sparks generating devices at home which can trigger into a spark. And this spark, along with oxygen and any combustible material, can trigger into a fire. So our point is that we have enough oxygen at everywhere at home. Our air itself has contained 21% oxygen. So oxygen is everywhere. Second thing is we dump our home with so much of combustible materials. The mattress, the carpets, curtain, everything, furniture. So all of them are there. So the third thing which we need to control is the ignition source. So what are those ignition sources? One of them is our electrical devices. Electrical devices are wired and it is connected, but oftenly we don't give much attention to those. One of the things which we can observe with electrical devices is that often when you touch them, or if you try to operate a switch, you feel a little bit warm on that surface when you touch that. That is a small indication where there is a failure of that particular device. But normally what the trend which we do is we ignore that. When we keep on continuing with that, and later on it triggers to a next stage, which is burning itself internally. Such burns triggers outside and it comes to some fire. And there is a device which is connected in our main electrical box, the switchboard which we have, electrical circuit breakers, the ELCBs. But never we do a testing or we do an understanding of checking of that, whether it's performing well. We never call an electrician and tell them, please have a check of my electrical devices. These are the things which we need to look into it. If you have any feeling of warmth, hot surface feeling, if you operate any switches, please call an electrician and do a check of that, at least remove that. Call an electrician and ask him to perform the test for the ELCB and the circuit breakers. does it works very fine along with that current? There are various testing methods. Every electrician, he knows that, and he can do it. You need to pay some few KDs of that to our electrician for that particular service, but truly it is worth doing it so that it gives an added protection to all our valuables at home and to ourselves. With that, let's move to the next table topic session of today's meeting. And today we have a wonderful personality who will be taking along with us for that table topic session. It's none other than Toastmaster Fakhruddin Malura. Toastmaster Fakhruddin Malura very recently joined 3-4 months before, and he has been so active with Toastmasters and even attending the various contests, taking up roles and in his level to enjoy the Toastmasters journey. He's an electrical engineer by profession and works as a safety engineer in one of the KOC projects. Today, he will be entertaining us with the table topics. I'm sure that he has come up with wonderful topics, and all of us, all our guests today are requested to participate in this table topic session. I request Toastmaster Fakhruddin Malura to join for conducting the table topic session for today. Over to you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin Malura.
Fakhruddin, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And hello and good evening, everyone. Moderator, can I share my screen or as a PowerPoint for virtual background?
You can.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So hello and good evening, everyone. Table topic speeches, which are also known as the impromptu speeches, is the speech giving without any preparation. For those, especially for the guest who has come for the first time, just to inform you, the table topic sessions helps members practice the art of improvisation. It helps develop to improve our communication skills in 4 ways: by listening, by thinking, by organizing, and delivering whatever we have taught. I invite everyone, especially the guests, to give it a shot, and I would appreciate them if they participate voluntarily by raising their hand. Otherwise, I will call anyone by calling their name. As timer of the day, the timer has announced that the timings for the table topic sessions. I would request once again the timer to please summarize or revise the time duration for each table topics. Over to you, timer.
Sure, thank you, table topic master. Good evening to one and all. I will explain the timing for the table topic speech. Prior to that, let me take the opportunity to acknowledge one the guest Division H Director DTM Siha Muhammad. I warm welcome to you and for your valuable time you given for us. Even you are not feeling the well by health. Thank you very much. I acknowledge your presence. Thank you. Table topic master, your timing for the table topic is minimum 1 minute. You will see the green signal. Middle time 1 minute 30 seconds. You will see the yellow signal, and 2 minutes speaker will see the red signal. After that 30 seconds have the grace period to conclude his speech. If the non-Toastmasters attending, please ensure these are the signal for your speech. We will not stop you to talking more than the time, but you try to bind up your speech when you see the yellow signal. So it will be for you good. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Timer. Now, coming back to the table topic sessions, as we know, today our theme is safety at home, home safety. And it would be shocking to know that major incidents, large number of incidents take place at home. Some statistics, especially from UK, that there are approximately 6,000 deaths that are recorded in a year just due to some home accidents. Especially the children's and the elderly peoples who are about 60 years or 65 years of age, they have such incidents, more frequent incidents. There are various kind of incidents we have at home. For example, slip, trip and fall, electrical shock, incidents in bathroom or washrooms, incidents at stairs, while using ladders, in kitchen, to be precise, fire, and so many incidents with sharp objects, and many more. Now, today, I would like you all to focus on the picture which I'm showing now on my screen. This picture, I would like to give you 30 seconds to look at the various hazards present in the scenario. And then I would invite the guest or participants or members to raise your hands and give me an account of their real life incidents which happened with them during their life, either in childhood or now or anytime, either with them or with their family members, where they had any learnings with that. Some funny or silly mistakes we all do at home. So I would invite everyone to think and remember their incidents which took place in their life related to the hazards which are shown in the screen. So you can take an idea from the screen and remember your incidents and come up with a 2 minutes table topic speech. So I request timer to please set a time for 30 seconds, and then we'll start inviting the members. Timer. Okay. So all of you, please go through the picture. There are various hazards, minimum 15 hazards are there in the picture. You can note down and you can use them for your speech. Time up. Okay. Yes. Thank you, timer. Let's begin the table topic sessions. I see volunteer Mr. Ashok Gardapati. He's a senior member of ASSP Toastmaster and ASSP Club, and I would request him to please come forward and deliver your speech. Welcome, Ashok, Mr. Ashok Gardapati.
Thank you, Table Topics Master of the Day. And it's nice to know that the theme of the meeting is home safety. In fact, you had shown the picture with several hazards, and I could really recollect the real incident which happened in our home during last November. It was a winter season, and nobody else was there except myself and my wife in the home. Our children were in India. And you know, nowadays the phone distractions are very high. Whenever housewives particularly, they get a phone, they keep taking the calls. And of course, sometimes they walk away from the kitchen also. So what happened on the day, November 19, 2020 exactly, the COVID-19 situation was very peak. The roads were very calm. Nobody was on the roads. Lockdowns are going on. And she was talking in the phone on the bedroom, but I was on the conference call. Suddenly I heard a noise, very loud noise from my home. Then I traced that noise, where exactly it is coming from. Then it led me to the kitchen. There's a big noise coming from the smoke detector. She left the chapati on the stove. She got a call from our daughter, and she was talking, forgetting about what is there in the kitchen. Luckily, as a safety professional, we could have the smoke detector. That really saved our life. That really saved our life on that day, thanks to the God. So we need to be very attentive whatever we do in the kitchen. Back to Toastmaster, table topic master of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashok Garlapati, for your wonderful sharing of your personal story. And there is definitely a learning for all of us here, and we all can very well relate with the incident. Now I would request any volunteer who would like to share their own incidents related to the home safety. Anyone? May I request? Yes, speaker, Toastmaster Sreenu. Please go ahead.
Recently, one incident happened in my home related fouling. One day, my wife cleaning my room, floor was wetted. So my daughter, that time, my daughter was sitting on the bed. Suddenly, she came down. She tried to walk and fell down immediately because the floor is not fully dried. This incident was happened. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Fakhruddin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sreenu. You could have elaborated more to qualify for your minimum qualification time, which is 1 minute. But anyway, you have done well, and I wish you all the best. And keep that point in mind for the next table topic session. Anyway, next time for the next table topic, anyone who wish to volunteer?
Toastmaster Fakhruddin, I can see the DTM Prescilla raised the hand.
Okay.
And
yes.
also myself also raised the hand related to your back picture. I would like to give first. Let's give preference to DTM Prescilla.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Madam Prescilla, please go ahead.
Okay. Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. This happened when I was around 11 or 12 years old. I would iron my uniform to go to school. And I had switched on the iron. It was nice and warm, and my uniform was getting ready, and the electricity throughout the area went off. So we had no electricity. My mistake was I did not switch off the iron, the switch, or whatever. Okay, you get it. I had forgotten to switch it off, and I had left the iron just, back then we used to have those tiles, and you would leave the iron on the tile so that your ironing place would not get burnt. I had left it on the tile, and I went to school. Everybody went to work. We had closed the house, and by afternoon, there were people who were walking past our house, and they could smell something. And that is when they had to break open the house, because the smoke was now coming out of the house. And that was a hell of an experience. When I returned from home, from school, I had a thrashing experience, an episode from my parents as to why I did that. Well, that has taught me a lesson. Today, when I leave the house, I make sure that the heaters are off in our house because we have a cat who is left alone in the house when we are not here. So much so that when I go down and I've forgotten to put the heater off, I call my husband and tell him, please check if the heater is on. So that was a lesson learned from me. I know there's a lot about safety, but this one incident really shook me. And I'm sure with this, you all will remember to put your heaters off. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DJ Prescilla. It was wonderfully explained. And yes, many of us has similar incidents, especially in India, where the power failure is very frequent. And we all can very well relate to that incident. Now, I would like to request the guest. There is another guest who has volunteered to participate in this discussion. So let's welcome Mr. Nikayo Epko. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing your name properly. You can please go ahead. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. My name is Nkoyo Ekpo from Nigeria. I'm calling to relate a safety experience I had as a child. I must have been about 4 years old then. I went on a Christmas vacation with my siblings to the village to visit my grandmother. So while in the village, the first aid box in my grandmother's room was not properly kept. It was open, and one of my siblings took iodine from the first aid box and ingested it. And I can remember panic. My mom had to rush him to the hospital, and that was the end of the vacation. So the lesson learned here is we should please try to keep away first aid box away from children, from the reach of children. Thank you very much. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Nikoyo Epko, and very well explained. And it is really, truly a serious incident. Poison, having or ingesting poisons or ingesting harmful chemicals, toxic materials by children are one of the serious incidents, especially in UK, Europe, and America. I'm sure if the statistics are available, it would be definitely the same case in Asia as well. Now, I would like to request Timer Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar to please go ahead.
Table Topic Master, shall I deliver my speech in the off camera because I am timing also?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Table Topic Master and fellow Toastmasters and honored guest. Being a safety professional, I could not miss the hazard you shown in the picture. It was the poor cable management and obstruction of the access. These are the two major hazards in the, we can say, in the house as well in our construction site where we are working, in the office or the projects. Poor cable management is the very slip and trip hazard as well as the obstruction of the access. I can say what picture you shown and the staircase there was the some flower pot or something, but they are kept. These are the major hazard when we are going to hurry in the can be trip. I remember this hazard related to this poor cable management. I was working in Alhambra Tower, 78th floor. One of the electrician, he was working at the 10th floor. With this same condition, poor cable management, cable was pulled here and there, and he tripped by that cable and fall on the wrist both. The young boy of the 25 year from India who was supposed to go to marry in the next month on vacation but fell down and he fractured the both of the wrist. He was hospitalized for I think 15 days, and he was plastered over the for bandage further for 1 month minimum. So he missed to go to the marry for his marriage. So these are the small things we ignore always in the house also as well as the office. But these are the major. It can be the hazard as a IDLH, which called immediate danger to life and health of the anyone. Have to take care of the things before you start the work in your house, even the office. If there no any hazard which can be threatened for your life and health. These small precautions we can take, we can save our health. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh, for wonderful narration of that story, that incident. Truly, slip, trip, and fall is a serious incident, and it's very common and frequent, especially in the household where the items, the things are not arranged properly in order. The housekeeping is one of the important technique to minimize such incidents. So proper housekeeping is required for everyone, irrespective whether you belong to HSE field or you belong to safety or you don't. It's required for everyone. So I ask timer if there is a sufficient time to move ahead, or
yes, I raised the hand for that, table topic master, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. You can ask one topic if anyone is volunteering. Otherwise, you can bind up the session. We are over time suited actually.
Fine.
Thank you. Over to you.
So we, since there is no more volunteers, I give back the session, or I return back or to the Toastmaster of the day. I call Toastmaster to take over the session.
Thank you. Sorry for interruption. Before take over by the Toastmasters of the day, let me give the report for the table topic speakers. First table topic speaker was Ashok Garlapati, 1 minute 53 seconds. And second speaker was the table topic speaker Sreenivasulu. Unfortunately, he could speak only 33 seconds. And next, Prescilla Dias, 2 minutes 15 seconds. Over to next, Nikoyo Ikpo, 1 minute 16 seconds. And last but not the least, myself, Toastmaster Dinesh, 2 minutes 08 seconds. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin Malura, for wonderfully conducting that table topic session, which was really interesting, showing that picture of different hazards and asking to explain the lessons learned from that. It was really interesting and enjoying and knowledge sharing as well. Thank you very much. So let's vote for the best table topic speaker for today. We have Toastmaster Ashok Garlapati. We have DGM Prescilla. We have Toastmaster Dinesh. Yeah, the vote is ready on your table. Please vote for the best table topic speaker for today.
Done.
Thank you, DGM Kachitan. So with that, we are over with the second session of a Toastmaster Club meeting, which we call a table topic session. Really interesting, with everyone can participate. There is no need of any preparation. On the spot, whatever topic which we are able to say, we use that as a spontaneous speech of our capabilities. Thank you. And let's move to the next session, which is the general evaluation session. But before that, let me say something on our theme for today, home safety. I just explained about the devices, the ignition sources at home, which can trigger into a fire, as well as we just during the table topics, we understood that about the protection which we need as well. Our senior ASSP member, Mr. Ashok Garlapati, was telling about detectors. There are such detectors available, battery operated, which can be fitted at every room And if any such spark generation or something or smoke generation is happening, it will detect and it will give an alarm individually. And with that, it will be a notice for you to come and spot check such things. So that's a wonderful tool which we need to look into it. And if possible, it should be there available at every home or every room where such hazards are expected. The second thing is, how many of us have a fire extinguisher at our workplace or at our home? Sometimes we don't give due importance to fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers is a simple device which we use to keep every place to prevent any incipient fire, which is at the baby fire stage. If you fight at that time, if you extinguish that, it can be very well controlled and a big disaster or a big fatality can be avoided. So these two things just keep in mind to keep that in your workplace, in your home at appropriate places so that it is easily accessible and it can be used. With that, let's go to the general evaluation session. As I told earlier, we had a wonderful personality among Toastmasters who's well renowned from Africa, joined us here to say our club meeting evaluation for today. And it is none other than Toastmaster Namiti Akpan. I would like to invite Toastmaster Namiti Akpan to conduct the general evaluation session for today. Over to you, Toastmaster Namiti.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sunil. Your presence, your confidence, your smile, your charm makes this place such a warm environment to stay. Interestingly, I feel at home as usual. Thank you. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, it was Mr. Lunok that said that no one can whistle a symphony. It takes an orchestra to play it. No one can whistle a symphony. It takes an orchestra to play it. And today we've had an orchestra, I dare say. And so let me call one of the greatest players in this orchestra, the man who has been there to literally run a safety check on all the things we've done today, our very distinguished Toastmaster Kajetan Barreto. He's a man of many sorts, so I will keep the introduction till later. Sir, please, evaluation, please.
Thank you, General Evaluator Namiti. Today, Toastmaster Srini told us that we can have data without information, but we cannot have information without data. And with that, he took us on a journey of how we can reduce, recycle, and reuse paper, both in the office and at home, so that we can have an impact on the environment and for the future generation. A very interesting topic, something that we can all relate to. He also gave us his experience on implementing ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning solutions at work, where he gave us concrete numbers, reduction by 70%. That's a huge reduction. Well done in being part of that project. And he also gave us some interesting perspectives about how much is produced by one tree. You said 3,000 A4 papers is what it takes for one tree to give us those papers. And of course, at the end of the day, you sort of give us this message that we should do this, reuse, recycle, and reduce. So let me evaluate this speech today. You had a very specific objective, which is to write a speech with a purpose. And when we write a speech with purpose, we generally have what we call a general purpose of a speech, which is a very top topic. And we have something called a specific purpose. In your case, I would say your broad topic was saving environment, saving the future. That's very big. But your specific topic was just reduce the use of paper. Now, what I would suggest you do when you are doing topics like this, when you have a specific purpose, I would like to give you my quote where we basically say, tell them what you are going to tell them, then tell them, and then tell them what you have told them. So essentially, you start your speech by telling us, what are you going to talk about? So instead of giving us a quote, which was very general, you could have told us, today, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how you can reduce the consumption of paper in office and at home. And then you could have given us those 1, 2, 3, what are those steps? And then finally say, please, this is the 3 things, now please implement in your day-to-day life. So that is how we construct a topic or a speech which has a specific purpose. Next, the other thing that I would like to basically tell you is whenever you are giving a speech and you bring acronyms like ERP, which might be difficult for people to understand, try to relate it from your own experience, something that can be understood by everyone. So these are my 2 topics, 2 suggestions for you. Basically, keep it very specific. Tell us what you are going to tell us, then tell that, and then finally tell us what you have told us. That's how we do a purposeful speech. And finally, try to keep things simple, personal, so that everyone can relate. That's my suggestions. Back to you, General Evaluator Namiti.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly, DTM Kajetan. I also took your suggestions. Tell them what you are going to tell them. Tell them, and then tell them what you told them. That is a great takeaway for me today. Thank you so much for that wealth of wisdom from that evaluation. So we segue right into the next activity, which I think is a timer's report. I would like to call on the timer. I think we've had 2 people play the timer's report today in unison. So I don't know which of them will take the report, or whether President Dinesh will take it. Please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmasters Nameti Akman. My timing report with the speaker's report will be already with the DTM Kajetan, and we are not planned to launch the poll for the best speakers because there is not Toastmaster Prescilla delivering his practice speech, not a project, and our speaker Srinu is delivering as a project. So there will be no poll for them. And evaluator also, there is a single evaluator and DTM Kajetan only. Other all giving the 360 evaluator for our second speaker. So there will be not poll launch for the evaluator also. But timing report, DTM Kajetan took the 3 minutes 23 seconds as a evaluator, and table topic already we launched the poll and finished it. Thank you. Over to you. You can give your now general comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that cue. So with that cue, distinguished Toastmasters and guests, I want to say that generally, this has been a very fruitful meeting. 3 things stood out for me in today's meeting. The first is the meeting quality, the quality of the meeting, and the quality of the role players. And I want to say that that is what makes a great Toastmasters meeting. And today we had a great speech from TM Srini. Wonderful. It showed that you prepared for it. I must salute your courage for coming out, taking the steps, icebreaker, and now the next speech. Trust me, with the evaluation you've gotten, you can only get better. I was inspired, I was motivated, and I took a lot away from your speech. Well done. And then Toastmaster Prescilla, we know you're on your journey and you've had a lot of accolades already. But what stood out for me today was your vulnerability, your ability to come out, take the feedback, acknowledge the feedback, and then assure us that you are going to take the feedback, apply the feedback going forward. For me, as a lifelong learner, that is something significant. So well done, and thank you so much for sharing a lot with us today. So let me go to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, Sunil. I love your presence, confident presence, your smile, your warm presence, your welcome. And then most especially, the fact that from time to time, you were giving us tips on safety. And I had my book, I wrote down a lot. Going back, I'll try as much as possible to ensure that, first of all, there's a fire extinguisher where I am. And then, as much as possible, enlighten people to switch off appliances that are ignition appliances, things I never knew before. So you didn't just play the Toastmaster of the Day role, you came with some kind of presentation with research to make us learn. And that is the quality that we took away from today's meeting. Thank you. Then I'd love to move to segue into the President Dinesh. I love the fact that from time to time you were welcoming and acknowledging guests that stepped into the meeting. Well, for me, what that does is it makes everyone who steps into your meeting space have a sense of welcome and recognition. It's like going to a house and there is someone to say welcome, and you acknowledge that some of these people might not stay till the end. That's a whole lot of sensitivity. So thank you. I want to commend TM Kajetan for being able to take timer, evaluator, at Zoom moderator, and all those roles together and volunteering. That's a true spirit of service. Now, the table topics master, I also like to commend you. Your picturesque expression of safety, that capture, that design was powerful. Well done. What would I think that we could do differently? Maybe a few suggestions going forward. Apart from the fact I'd like to apologize, I stepped in a bit late. I think, I don't know whether it's safe, because we're talking about safety, waiting to be admitted in the room can maybe, so when there's bad network, it throws you out and puts you in. So I don't know if that's okay, but I just think maybe coming in, I could be fine without having to wait, but then that's fine. That was okay. Then also going forward, I think that we could also try as much as possible to ensure that the transitions between the different members of the meeting actually goes a lot more smoothly. But apart from that, it was a great meeting for me today. Let me leave with this quote. Most times, what is determined for a club to move forward is just 3, 2, 4, 5 people that can hold the club together. It's not the number. And just a few of us today have been able to leave a mark in so many people's souls, including me. So thank you, and keep the club going, and let's keep the safety going. It was a great meeting and I enjoyed and learned a lot. Thank you. Over to you, the Toastmasters of the day, Toastmaster Sunil. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Navati, for wonderfully giving the evaluation of our club meeting today. We accept that notes which you have been given for all our improvement, and we will take care of that in our future meetings. Thank you very much. With that, let's move to the last session, which will be the concluding session, which will be handled by our club president very soon. But before ending that, let me have one more note about our home safety, which is a theme for today. There's one more thing aspect which we need to keep at home is the emergency procedures. How many of you have a certain emergency procedure at your home? I'll just give you one example, which I used to do when my son was very small, around 3 or 4 years old. We used to teach him our mobile numbers, that your number, your father's number, can you say, we make them to say that, so that in case of any emergency, if anybody asks, it will be easy for him to explain. So what we do, we give my mobile number and my wife's mobile number, and we say, you have got a number, that's our residential telephone number. So it's your number is this, my number is your father's number is this, your mother's number is this. So he keeps that 3 numbers remembering, and always time to time when he was a very young, we ask, what's your father's number? So he explains that. What's your number? He explains that. That way we can educate small children, and that will be really worth of an emergency number in case of any emergency, whether he is not able to trace or any emergency situation. That's another tip for that. With that, everything in mind, I would like to conclude today's meeting. We had a wonderful meeting with great speeches, table topic session, and a wonderful evaluation with the theme home safety. And I would like to once again reinforce that 3 things which I have been mentioning today: setting a policy at home towards safety. Second thing is keeping our ignition sources identified. If there is any defect, give due respect and rectify it. The third thing is on the emergency procedures, like the one tip which I have gone. There are many tips, all of you can make your own, but do give him a try to install these things so that you can keep your home and family safe. With that, I would like to give back my podium to the club president, Toastmaster Dinesh, for the concluding session. Thank you once again. We all had a great and joyful meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh, club president.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sunil, Toastmasters of the day. You conducted very well today the meeting, and we enjoyed a lot. Before I move forward, let me say some apology which I could missed today the meeting, since our DLM Alcazar is here, who is going to contest as a CGD next year. So he will noted all the points of the meeting. Since the impromptu roles for the BP education, sergeant at arms, both are emergency leave the vacation. So we could not add the in the business session the report from the club officers back. And now we will start the feedback from our guest. I will start the feedback by the welcoming one guest named Muhammad Abu Thara. I request you please unmute yourself, and if your circumstances allow, just switch on your camera so we all will know, because actually I am also not aware about you, and I get help from our DLM, who is this gentleman, my guest, who the name is written actually Arabic, and we are not able, being Indian, I cannot read the name. So I request you unmute yourself and switch on your camera, please. Introduce yourself and whatever, if you can give a few words of the feedback about the meeting. Guest Muhammad Abu Thara. Kajetan, just click his mic or the video if they can accept.
Yes.
Kajetan, give me the co-host either.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How are you, everybody? Yes.
Yeah, just I request you please introduce yourself.
Yes. Yes.
By
My
your
name.
name, profession, or the Toastmaster, non-Toastmasters, and how you came to know our meeting. Then, if you join little back, so you can give your feedback about our meeting.
Yes. Yes. Now, just I'm late. Just now, conduct your meeting now. Okay. My name is Engineer Muhammad. Okay, I'm a safety engineer. I joined to ASSP Kuwait last February.
I think Muhammad Abu Thara lost the connection. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to take the feedback from our district logistic manager, Toastmasters DTM Yasser Alcazar.
Thank you, Dinesh, our president. To be honest, when I joined, I thought I will stay for a few minutes, but the meeting was very, very well organized. We can see from how it is organized, moderated by our brother DTM Kajetan. You know, for your information, Kajetan, he helped us in DTAC. Last DTAC was in Bahrain, and we do it through the Zoom. So when we ask for help, Kajetan, to give us how to moderate, how to use IT, you should go back to Kajetan, because he is the most professional one. We have it in our district. So he conduct maybe 3 or 4 workshops for our DTAC team, how to moderate the DTAC and the Zoom. So thank you, brother Kajetan, for that. And regarding the meeting overall, it is very good, well organized. I like the way of table topics, how it is done, show the picture of the safety, and give the question, general question for all for the theme, which is good idea and great and well done on that one. And also our Toastmaster of the day, what I can say, Sunil, well done. The smiling is always in his face. As the GA mentioned that he put in between while he's talking, he put every time some document, some things about safety and how to use it at home. And he related all during his speech for the theme of the day. So it is well done. And I am happy to see also our General Evaluator from Africa. Well done. It is great to be with you. And back to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you very much, DLM, DTM Yasser Alkasar, for your kind words and encouragement for our role players. Let me move forward. One more guest, Nikoyo Ikpo. Guest Nikoyo Ikpo, I would appreciate if you can unmute yourself and also switch on your video. So, and if we can hear a few words from you, if it is okay with you. If not a meeting feedback, just again you can introduce yourself. Already you introduced yourself at starting, but we would love to see you again. Thank you. I think he is not near device. Yes, Namati?
I think she might not be close to her device, like you say.
Okay. Thank you. No problem. It's okay. I really appreciate attendance. If you are here present, that is enough for me. Feedback. I took it as a feedback, your presence. Last but not the least, I would love to hear few words again from Ashok Garlapati. Sir, if you are there, yeah.
Yes, sir. Certainly, I'm here, and thank you for the opportunity. First, I would like to welcome Mr. Nameti from Nigeria. I'm too familiar with Nigeria. You know, we have an ASSP chapter in Nigeria. I was the one who moved the motion to approve the Nigerian chapter, and back in 2007 at Florida. So thank you. My only one suggestion to our ASSP Kuwait chapter is that we have almost 10 members on an average in club meetings, but we have a chapters in Nigeria, Egypt, Pakistan, India, and we have a WhatsApp group. If you share this meeting invitation in that group, now we always think globally and act locally. Let's give this benefit to them also. You know, a lot of people will join, certainly. And we are conducting all the themes related to our profession. Today, Mr. Sreenivasulu and our Madam Prescilla also spoke so nicely, so engaged in speeches. We should take this back to our other Region 9 chapters also in different parts of the world. And this is happening virtually. I am sure they will join it. So it's my request and recommendation to our Dinesh, President Saab. And with that, I would like to give it back to our President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashok Garlapati sir, for your kind words and suggestions. Really, I will get back to you how we can share in that group the meeting posters and flyers. Thank you very much. Very nice suggestion. And by that, I would like to thank to one and all, especially the guest and especially the guest who took the role as a Nameti Akpan. I appreciate and thank you from bottom of my heart for your presence here. On an impromptu notice, very short notice, you accepted the role. Since nowadays we are lacking the role players. So thank you very much for your support and looking forward again to join the meeting as we meet first and third Saturday of every month at 6:30 p.m. And now also the club is open to accept the new member from the new session is starting from April 1st. So you can recommend to your any friend or the guest, and all the members also requested to get one by one touch in the one, at least one member can bring the one guest. So we are here at 26 member at present in our ASSP Toastmasters Club, and I believe maybe all will not renew. So whatever going the lack, we can add the new members, and as per our getting the DCP point, we must need 8 members. So I request to my club members, each one get one, please. With that, I officially adjourn the meeting, but we will be here further for chit chat. If anybody would like to share or give your comment, I will welcome. Thank you.